happened again. It's happened
Happened
again.
again.
Tottenham Hotspur has happened again. Welcome back to the VAR Room, where Americans talk soccer. I'm your co-host today, Idris, and alongside me, June. How are you doing today, June?
What's up, everyone? Thanks for having us here. And football.
Thank you guys once again for all our subscribers and all the likes. Make sure you destroy that like button for the YouTube algorithm. Share with your friends, share on Facebook, share on your OnlyFans account, share it everywhere. This week
Destroy
we'll
that
be
like
talking
button. I like that, Idris. I never heard that one before, but I like that. Yeah. Go on.
Well, thank you. Make sure you do that. Plug us, we appreciate all the plugs you give for us. This week we'll be talking about, should the Premier League bring back 5 substitutions or should they keep the 3 substitutions? So I'll go with you, June. What do you think about the Premier League only having the 3 substitutions? And do you think 5 substitutions is the future going ahead in football, giving managers more flexibility?
Yeah, I really like this rule, honestly. There's a lot of saying that this is only going to benefit the richer side of the Premier League or any other team that applies this rule. But I think overall it gives a very good chance for the youngins as well, or other players that doesn't get to play. Um, Not only the richer side is going to get benefit, they will get benefit more because they're going to get to play these big name players more often. But just the overall effect on the talent pool, and there's so many talents in England or just all over the world, and a lot of players don't even get to play. Like look at Mo Salah in Chelsea. Like he didn't really get to play that much, right? And also a lot of players that are huge right now that in the previous days they were nobodies and they just needed that exposure, that playing time. And I think because of this, we are going to definitely see more players come in and play and give a better opportunity for them. So I think it's a good thing. Um, what are your thoughts, Idris?
Yeah, I think at first I really thought it would benefit only the bigger sides. They're playing in Europe and stuff. But now
Yeah,
that I think about it, is that the smaller teams can also benefit from this because the smaller teams too are suffering from injuries and it's kind of limited and stuff. And it kind of helps with the squad rotation, being able to change 5 players, even though like if someone's coming back from injury, it can help them get back to the fitness a little faster because
yeah,
you have that chance to like make those substitutions when you want to, and it just
yeah,
gives the manager more flexibility versus just having 3 and they have to be smart. Because I know most managers kind of make 2 substitutions, then towards the end they make the last third one because they never know an on-called for injury can happen within the game. But with 5, they can at least still make some more substitutions to manage their squad a little more. So I think it's a good idea to bring it back.
definitely. I think the injury is a huge thing. Like over the coronavirus and the pandemic happened, and there were a lot of concerns over the fitness and injury risk for the players. Because they play a lot of game in short amount of times, and they really can't. They're really going overboard with playing that many minutes for especially the star players that are main lineups. They always play 90 minutes, high risk. This is a very intense game, and there's always room for injuries for these players because they would go harder on this top players because they are different level, so you have to push them harder to take the ball away from them. So there's definitely higher injury risk for them, and I think because we're bringing more substitutes, I think there's gonna be definitely less injury risk, and just I think it's gonna help the players' health in overall to um, especially top teams. I think it's gonna benefit more because they have Europa and Champions League, all that schedule. So if they give them more wiggle room here in their own home league, EPL, I think that it's gonna be more beneficial for them for injuries.
Yeah, I agree. It's very beneficial. And also, I think it really helps because these players, like you said, the top players, they want to play 90 minutes. They're playing a lot of football. They're playing in Premier League. They're playing, if they're your top team, you're playing in Europa League. Then you have the international break in between where you have like friendlies. That's a lot of football in a
Yeah.
short amount of time, So these five substitutions just kind of gives that balance. And I have to agree with you, it kind of benefits some of the top teams to have insane squad depth
Hmm.
that especially teams like Man City, where they have the likes of Riyad Mahrez, Ferran Torres, Foden coming off the bench.
Ooh.
And like if they're losing, they can just throw in world class players compared to like teams like West Brom that who do they
Yeah.
what world class player can
Who
they
they
throw
have?
on? Exactly. But it's also beneficial, like you said earlier, it gives managers more opportunity to play youngsters because have we seen over the past few years and the past few months, there are a lot of youngsters moving up the ranks. And if without giving them chances, without managers believing in them, would we really see them? You know, that's
Yeah.
that's a good question because like you see players. Look at Liverpool. They played one of their youngsters in it. Was it a Champions League game because Allison was injured? Incredible goalkeeper. People like him was Greenwood, Saka, even Holland. Like he was a nobody. How many years ago? Mind you, he's still
2 years ago.
19.
Yeah.
Yeah, 19, 20, and he's arguably probably one of the most prolific strikers in the world. Like, what if that manager didn't take that chance on him?
Yeah.
Would we have seen him? And I think that's pretty exciting. And I think they should come back because like if you're winning 5-0 against some team, there's no point like bringing in your star players. You might as well just put in some youngsters, give them some game time, see what they can do at the top level. So I'm excited for that if they bring it back to get a little more youngsters, get some more game time.
Yeah. Idris, I'm gonna read you a tweet. You know, Jurgen Klopp has been a huge advocate for five sub rule. Obviously, with what's going on with Liverpool and the injuries, terrible time for them. Very tough time for Liverpool FC. So I'm gonna read the tweet from James Nelton, JD Nelton. So BT questioned James Milner hamstring, is it? Klopp was, yeah, congratulations. BT interviewer was like, me personally, and Klopp was, no, but you work for them, yeah? Hamstring, surprise. And they had injuries as well because it's a tough time. So what do you think about this tweet right here?
Can you read that again? I think I mixed some context with that.
Yeah. So BT questioned Klopp, James Milner hamstring, is it? And then Klopp was like, yeah, congratulations. And BT interviewer was like, me personally? Klopp was like, no, but you work for them, yeah? Hamstring. Surprise. And they had injuries as well because it's a tough time.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Klopp is one of those managers that kind of says what's on his mind, and he does it in such a clever way so he doesn't get fined by the FA because the FA fines anyone these days. You
Yeah.
you can just look at Murillo Murillo interviews. He's like, if I talk, the FA will fine me.
Mm.
So, but yeah, I think he has a point. I feel like, uh, especially the English media are always fishing for something,
Mm.
and if I mean, you always want the manager to confirm because you don't want to like put out false information, but he's clearly not in the right mindset because almost half his team is injured. His like strongest team is
Yeah.
injured, and he's kind of struggled. They're kind of struggling this season, like for their
Yeah.
standards compared to the last season. So in that moment after a game that he's not really happy, like questioning him like that probably tipped him off a bit. And teams always say who's injured probably after they assess everything, because
Yeah.
like within a game you can't already know like what the injury is. They still have to do a scan. They have to talk to the medical staff, make sure it's the right injury to put out the right information. So maybe the reporter should have waited, but I understand the reporter. They want to get the information out. That's their job. But I think Klopp kind of was kind of sassy on that one, but it's Jurgen Klopp. That's how he is. That's
Yeah.
like asking Mourinho to be like respectful. So
Bro.
yeah, what did you think about it?
Yeah. So pretty much think the same thing. He's very very sassy guy, and yeah, he was kind of like sarcastically, saying no, but you work for them, yeah, hamstring, surprise. So he's definitely against that. He wants that more substitution, five substitution in the league, and yeah, he doesn't want to directly say it, but he just shows that he's really having a hard time with the situation. Everyone's getting injured, like James Milner and just a lot of people in Liverpool FC. And it looks like Mikel Arteta is also on board with this decision. He said we have to protect players as much as possible. They are the protagonists in this industry. And he said we have to modify the rules and make them more flexible to give them a better opportunity to fit physically and mentally. And Dean Smith, Aston Villa, he also agrees that he wants more rotational flexibility. And given that player has World Cup camp and mini tournament, yeah, he agrees that five substitution will give them more room. And Graham Potter, yes, he also says that yeah, he says you look at the season, think it's a shorter season. The internationals are going to play more because there are more games in the break. We're going into winter, so there is more chance of catching COVID. There might be more positive tests and more isolation. It will be a bigger push on players. The fact that we're in lockdown means that from a mental perspective, if you got a lot of players from overseas, they won't see their family. They're here to play football, and that can be quite challenging. There's quite a things going on, and that's why the 5 sub rule was quite sensible one to alleviate the problem. And Sean Dyke from Burnley, he definitely mentioned that it benefits the richer club. That's all I can really find on there. Frank Lampard, yep, obviously. He let's see. He said, "I think it is something we have to address again with the clubs. The circumstances have not changed since we had 5 subs at start of restart. My main concern is player welfare. They are under incredible stress, especially those playing in Europe. I don't want anyone to cry in their eye outs for their players. We all know how lucky we are, but everywhere else has 5 subs, so we have to revisit this, in my opinion." Yep. So it looks like, yeah, a lot of clubs, yeah, they're just worried about the players' welfare, and it's a tough time for everyone, especially the players playing in a foreign country. So I think definitely, given their rough schedule and under the circumstances, I think this will be a good change, at least for now, and we can see what happens. All right, we have some audio issue here, and Idris will be joining us again.
Hello.
Hey, you have Arsenal internet right now.
Sorry for the technical difficulties.
No worries, Idris. Welcome back. Yeah, but I was just reading
Yeah.
out some comments from the managers, and looks like it's mostly um, worrying about players' welfare, and they are pro 5 substitution. And a couple coaches, Burnley coach like Sean Dyke, he doesn't want that um, because it's going to benefit the richer side, which is very reasonable as well. So very mm, there's a lot of opinions on out there right now, but it looks like most of them are over just on board with this idea of 5 substitution, and I as well is supporter of this. So yeah, before we that's all we have for today. And you just do you have anything else you want to add on?
Uh, Not really. I would say during what's it called? The lockdown once they brought 5 substitutions and Arsenal had to play Man City and they're bringing on the likes of De Bruyne and Sterling. I would say I was against the 5 substitutions just because of that. But now I see that it's taking a toll on the players. They're playing way too many games. And the festive period is about to hit, and they're going to be playing three games like in 7 days or how many games? That's a lot of games. So definitely the players need some rest. And I will say I am for the 5 substitutions now.
Yeah, it looks like it's gonna help the players a lot, and we'll see how it really goes. Let's see. I would like to see how this pans out for the. I want to see if it's actually if it's gonna deepen the gap between the bottom of the table teams and the top teams. So, yeah, excited to see it. Only way to find out is trying it out. So, yeah, we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, definitely. Well, thank you guys for listening.
Thank you guys. And let's go check out the Arsenal game. They're in a deep, deep trouble right now. So you want to give a final prediction on this game? You think it's
Arsenal
gonna be a
0,
tough
Burnley
fight?
1. Arsenal 0, Burnley 1.
Ooh, does that mean Arteta out?
I'm not
Most likely.
Arteta out. I'm more of get the shit players out of my club. Bellerin has more foul throw-ins than he has assists this season. Come on, make it make sense.
That foul throw in last game, man. That was unbelievable. Let's see who
All
starts
right.
for the lineup right now. Actually, let's see.
I can read out the lineup for you. So the lineup is Leno in goal, Bellerin, Holden, Gabriel, who has been our best player this season, in my opinion. Then we have Xhaka and El Neni in the midfield, Saka, Willian, Lacazette, and Aubameyang.
Lack of talent. Lack of talent. Shout out to Uzin. He's the one that came up with this. Very nice nickname.
Uzin sauce.
Yeah, I just can't remember. There's one Instagram post that I sent you. It's like the Friends intro. It's like and it's like Kieran Tierney. It's like he's like falling
Bro,
down. Leno he like misses to punch the ball, and Aubameyang missed the open
oh
shot,
man,
and then it was like
this is
Bellerin
torture.
gets bodied by Grealish. Oh my god,
Grealish.
that was okay. Yeah, that was hilarious. But let's see if they
Yeah,
can fight this fight. Oh, but like the
definitely.
Burnley guys are huge though. Let's see if but I think Arsenal definitely got the speed here. So let's see how this works out.
Yeah, hopefully. But thank you guys for listening again. Sorry for the little misham at the end here, but we got to take the piss and get the bands in.
Exactly.
But thank
Man's
you
gotta do
guys.
what he's gotta do. All right, man. Thank you for listening, guys. Destroy that like button and subscribe button. And we'll see you next episode. Peace.
See ya. Peace.
Enchanté.